Alright, I'm just gonna be honest here. Sometimes you're on the giving end of missile thunder. Like this poor guy. Really, absolutely nothing he can do. And then sometimes, no, actually most of the time, you're on the receiving end. Just don't ever give up, guys. Don't worry, guys. I died about 2 seconds later on that clip. I'm human. We all are. This is the F-4E. Now, I just did a video on this a little bit ago, but I wanted to go a little deeper into why I actually love this plane. I'm having fun in top tier right now, and this is why. It's very, very maneuverable. Now, we're not talking MiG-21 maneuverable, but I can still reverse him. And I can still, 9 times out of 10, I'm getting shots on these guys because the MiG-21 compresses at high speeds, around 900 kilometers an hour. I can reverse just about anything in this plane. Now, I'm not saying it's a smart move. But real quick, I'm going to show you one little trick that I guarantee is going to make life a little bit better for you, especially flying any Phantom, at least with flares. And for all you that say that, oh, the flares don't work, look at this. I've got missiles coming at me left and right now. The flares work, guys, but I'm going to show you a little trick that makes it work just a little bit better. Now, somehow I walked away from this, and this, I think, just goes to say a lot about this aircraft, because I don't think I'd ever be able to do this in the F-4C or any of the gun pod Phantoms. They aren't nearly as maneuverable. The trick, though, the trick is extremely simple. So most of us still have our throttle controls somewhat bound to our scroll wheel on our mouse. So if scroll wheel down is your throttle down, then bind that as well. Just double bind it to the flares. Because the flares do not work if you're afterburning. And this just takes some of the thought out of it. You scroll wheel down, you dump flares, you kill your afterburner, and guess what? The missile just flies right on by. It's really, really, really simple. Now I will warn that AIM-9Js are a little bit more temperamental. Sometimes you have to blow off a few more flares than you would with the R60s. But the R60s absolutely love them, so... Not too much to worry about it when it comes to a MiG-21, unless he gets really close to you. So let's go into a little bit of gameplay here. This is from start to finish, show you how I do a match in the F-4E. I really do love this plane. We're flying here with one of my squad mates, Aced. He is in my squad, Boomer. There is still a few openings if you guys want to join Boomer. There is no hard requirements. I do expect you to use Discord for communications, though. That being said, I kind of side climbed just a little bit. My goal, I don't necessarily want to get supersonic. Yeah, sure, it doesn't hurt to get supersonic, but you can climb just as fast without it. And if you really need it, you can dive back down. So I use the hell out of this radar. This radar is my other little trick that I will show you with this aircraft. Now, it's nothing new. I showed you guys this with the MiG-21 SMT. The MF does it as well. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm locking the radar up, and it's a simple setting. It's lock radar target in your settings, and I just bind it to my right mouse button. And what it does is it slaves the missile seeker. See how the missile automatically locks onto him as soon as it heats up? Boom, one down. The next guy's diving out because he's kind of by himself in tag team, so we dive to the deck, grab a little bit of speed. This guy's going to outrun us. I'm not that worried about it, but I don't want to let him forget that I'm behind him. So now we're diving down to the deck. We're going to get up to Mach here real quick. I see an F-86 Sabre. Not exactly sure why he brought that into top tier, but it's not as bad as a prop. Either way, he's not going to last very long. Fire a couple bullets, let him pull off, get a crit. Diving back down to the deck, maintaining supersonic. We're just going to cruise. Well, we're going to be close to supersonic, but we're going to go ahead and start climbing up here a little bit because the higher you go, the faster you go. You can't do Mach 1.2 on the deck, so we're going to climb up a little bit, and that's going to make us faster than this guy. At least that's the goal. Now, he's going to continue to outrun me. I'm going to go over here and help out my friends. Again, half the goal in jets is not focusing people. If you focus someone and you give up the targets of opportunity that are right in front of you, you're not going to get very far in jets. So again, we lock up the radar onto this target to try and get a lock and a head on, but it was a little too late. If we fired it just a hair early, I might have gotten him. But again, we just drop our nose back down and get back up to Mach and continue to run. Take note of the F-4E above me high, but he is kind of passive, so not too concerned. He's not going to see me, especially down here on the deck, so we just continue on. So we got a J-35. I got two MiG-21s. J-35, really not much of a threat, to be honest. As long as you don't turn with them, they dump all their speed in the turn. I might cover it here in a little bit. If you guys want, let me know. I will probably cover it, but just let me know if you guys want it now. I got plenty of footage for J-35. But we go ahead and we lock up the J-35. I was thinking maybe he'd turn towards me, but we got the radar locked up to the other MiG-21. I know this guy is going to make a turn here in a second, and that's where I'm hoping to get the lock. So we heat up the missile again, and I see him make that turn. And that turn kind of gives me that broadside lock, so we go ahead and fire that missile real quick. And the MiG-21, he doesn't have flares, so he has to aggressively turn to dodge the missiles. Otherwise, he's dead. And in that case, he didn't turn, so he is dead. So I've got one more missile. I got this guy, he's kind of running from me, so I know that I have to force him to turn, and that's exactly what happened. He did the aggressive turn, and then we're going to try and line up a shot. This one's unfortunately going to fail, and I'm out of missiles, but I'm not too scared of the MiG-21. This guy's dumped a little bit of speed right now, and he's going to run. I've also got Aced here to help me out in case something goes wrong. I'm not afraid to really turn with a MiG-21, and now I will say, most aircraft, you're good for about one, maybe two turns against them when you're in the F-4E. But after that, know when you're out of energy and know when you need to get the hell out. So I decided to get a little bit aggressive because I got the speed. And I pull back in towards him, but Ace gets the kill. And they're now down another MiG-21. So now the numbers are in our favor, I think. We're going to go ahead and find our way back over towards the rest of the enemies and try and help out our friendlies. So as we get close, I see an EJ, I see an F9F, I see a T2, and a couple guys behind him can't quite make it out. MiG-21, so the EJ is the closest. We're going to go ahead and try and tag team him real quick. I don't have any missiles, which is unfortunate, but it's not going to slow me down too much. Looks like we got another F-4E in the distance. That guy I'm going to have to try and pay attention to. Try to fake the head on. Try to pull the shot, missed it. No biggie, continue on. Try and help out my last teammate over here. Things aren't looking so good in the end. T2 high, kind of keeping my eye on him, but right now I'm just really focused on helping out my team. Get the F9F out. Ace gets the MiG-21. We got one guy left, unfortunately. I wasn't going to pull the shot on him because I knew I'd give my ass to the F9F or the other guy, possibly. And then we got Navihawk here in the T2. We'll talk about him here in a little bit. I got the F4EJ coming at me. I'm not too scared of an EJ. EJ is faster than me. But I am maneuverable. I am the Agile Eagle. And so I'm not really that scared. And he pulls back into me. Don't know why. We pull in, get a quick shot. He is gone. And then the other F-4E is coming towards me. Tries to pop a missile in the head on. Kind of surprising. But we pull back. We're a little bit slow. Not exactly where I want to be right now. And as you see, the plane kind of turns into a brick when you get around 500 kilometers an hour. We pull up to try and dodge his shot. We pull back into him. And for some reason, this guy makes a really poor decision and pulls right back into me, which is not the greatest because I'm really slow. There's no way he was ever going to get that shot. Set him on fire. He is out of the game. Two more down. Now all we have left is Navihawk. Again, so Navihawk is a pretty cool guy. If you haven't met him before, he flies ARB with a joystick. Now, in most cases, that's actually a hindrance, but he's pretty damn good with it. I guess if you practice something enough, you get good at it eventually. So here I am turn fighting with a T2. And this is something I'd never done before this match. And I know the T2 is actually pretty maneuverable when it gets down to slow speeds. It's about like a MiG-21. And so this is something that I've never done before, and I'm kind of pushing my limits just a little bit. So I try to go high to open up the distance a little bit so I can get my nose on him. And he unfortunately is able to pull up so it does not give me the shot. So we go ahead and we get the flaps in, we get the air brake back in, all that, get our drag gone, accelerate, and dive to the deck. I've got another F-4E coming to help me. I'm not really scared of this whole engagement. But the one thing that is going to count against me is the fact that I only have 3 minutes of fuel left. And it was after this match that I started taking 25 minutes of fuel instead of 20 minutes of fuel. So we're trying to set up again for another quick reversal, see if I can at least get behind him. And at the same time, I really don't want to burn if I don't have to. But he is still able to dump enough speed to get inside my turn. Risky shot, almost got me. We dive back out. We do not want to continue turning with him at this point. So we just reset. And this is the maneuver that, like I say, you're good for like 1 or 2 turns in the Phantom. After that, you kind of have to be careful. And again, these tips only count for the F-4E because it is so maneuverable. The other one's kind of like whales. They don't fight that well. Fuel's against me. Try to pop a couple bullets in the head on. Miss again. We get aggressive. We pull in towards him. He is trying to extend away. He knows better. He knows I'm a good pilot. I know he's a decent pilot. But he pulls back in just a little bit. Try to pop a couple bullets. Really wish they had hit. Again, I'm going to miss just a little bit more. Really could have had him right there. Unfortunately, though, again, I'm not going to get many more shots because I'm down to 1 minute of fuel. And the more I burn, the faster that fuel disappears. So we are backing off the burner. We're going to drop it, try and get our speed back up. And as you see, he's going to extend away. Surprisingly enough, it seems like the T2 out-accelerates the F-4E a little bit. Now, the other thing to consider too, the F-4E, it is the slowest of all the Phantoms. It really is. But because it's maneuverable, I enjoy the hell out of it, and the speed doesn't bother me too much. At this point, he tells me that, well, he's out of ammo, so I'm not too worried. Maybe he's joking, I don't know. But I don't have a lot of fuel to sit here and question it, so we're going to try and extend away. At least find an airfield. Looks like he gets set on fire. That is pretty much the end of the match. He's going to burn for a while, but this is the end of the match. My fuel's out. We're going to glide back to base. He's pretty much dead, so I'm not too concerned with landing, but I'm going to go ahead and find the airfield just in case because, well, he hasn't put the fire out yet. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Now, when it comes to Phantoms, you know, the FGR is by far the most powerful plane in this game right now. It can energy trap just about anything, but it flies like a whale. I do not enjoy it with the gun pod. I do not enjoy its lack of maneuverability. The F-4EJ is not the Super Phantom, despite what another YouTuber likes to say. We're not here to lie to you folks. The Super Phantom came out in the 90s, and this aircraft that is the F-4EJ is not the Super Phantom. Also, it only real difference between the F-4C, yeah, it has a little bit more power, and it does have the integrated gun. Now, I definitely prefer the integrated gun because when you roll with the gun pod, it throws off the aim of your gun. So, that being said, F-4C, F-4EJ, FGR Phantom, then we have the F-4E. Am I missing one? We got 4 Phantoms in this game. This one by far is my favorite. But it's also the slowest, so just keep that in mind, guys. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know. Try to address them in the comments. Again, as always, thank you for all the support. Oh, and almost forgot, Serious Broom 419. Here's your shout out, buddy. Thank you very much for helping me out the other day, just kind of being my test subject while I was messing with the Object 279. Much appreciated. And but thanks, guys. We'll see you around. Till next time.